You're watching the Talk of Las Vegas with your host, Linda Ross.
My very special guest is based in New York City, Los Angeles, and Las Vegas. He's a mentalist and a magician, and he directed the highest rated close-up magic show in New York City called A Taste of Magic, one of New York City's most in-demand, fun, and astonishing magicians. He knows what you're thinking. Now welcome, Kent Axell. So when did you get into magic, and what made you get into magic?
Wow, it's so cliche. It's not a cliche question. I mean, I hear it all the time, but the answer is very cliche. My uncle showed me a trick, and I was like, he took a little coin. You can imagine this. You're 10 years old or whatever. He took a little coin. He marked it. I don't know why, but he marked it with a knife, not a Sharpie. There were markers at the time, but okay. He took out a pocket knife and he said, "Mark that," and so I marked it. And then he didn't do anything like finessed with this. He just took the coin, put it in his pocket, and immediately removed a matchbook. And in the matchbook was all like wrapped up with rubber bands. And then I took the rubber bands off the matchbook and opened it up, and there was another smaller matchbook inside, also wrapped up in rubber bands. And inside that one, there was a little bag which was sealed like this around the top, like with a rubber band like this. And so I opened up the bag, and lo and behold, inside was the coin, which was miraculous, obviously, to anyone. The marked coin. And he didn't have too much finesse with it. He wasn't trying to be a showman with it at all. But he was like, this is a fun secret. And I thought that was the tip of the iceberg. As it turns out, that was the entire iceberg. That was all of his knowledge. He knew the one trick. But I came back to the next family reunion with 5 or 6 hours worth of material the next year because I was just so obsessed with this idea of performing magic. And so, yeah, that's the story.
Too cool.
Yeah.
I know you hate hearing that.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I said, it's relatively common for a family member to show you some magic and then you to get sort of hooked on it. But a lot of people grow up, and I didn't. Yeah.
It's a myth. We don't ever grow up.
Oh, for sure.
Okay, so tell me, can mentalism be learned, or is this an innate gift that you have?
Oh, no. Mentalism is definitely learnable. It's a subsidiary of magic. So it uses exactly the same deceptive principles, but it's dressed up as either Sherlockian sort of ability or as psychic ability. And both of those, neither of those are true. So the mentalist is somebody who's a magician who's doing magic tricks, doing secret things that you don't know about, that is doing everything in their power to make you believe that they're some kind of psychological manipulator guy or some kind of psychic. And neither is true. Any mentalist or magician or whatever, any mentalist that tells you that what they're doing is purely psychological in nature is lying. Yeah, and any I don't believe in psychics necessarily, but that's the other sort of presentational hook people use, and that's equally untrue.
So it is a skill.
If you the clearest way to say this is if you go to Barnes & Noble and you want to learn how to do what I do, and people haven't seen what I do yet, so why would you? But if you wanted to learn to do what I do, you would go straight to the magic section. Not to the psychology section, not to the psychic section, not to the spirituality, crystals, whatever. You'd go straight to the magic section. And you'd start with maybe card tricks or whatever. But most of the time, in some kind of magic book, they'll have a little section on mentalism, which is similar to the skill set that you learn in the rest of the book, but just dressed up differently.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you prefer street magic or performing in a show?
In a show, for sure. Street magic is way too hard. Yeah. Street magic is a good place to cut your teeth, though. I tell all of my students, I did street magic in New York to survive for a little over a year, and I tell everyone that I work with that is an ultimate currency. The attention that they give you is an ultimate currency for you for deciding whether or not you're actually doing an engaging show. because you have a captive audience inside a theater. You kind of have a captive audience in a restaurant, if you're doing restaurant magic.
And you're dealing with New Yorkers, which are a whole other breed. Wow.
Yeah, and New Yorkers will throw things, they'll mess up your day. But basically, yeah, you have to put yourself in an environment where you are going to learn if what you're doing is any good. And sometimes even other magicians are not qualified to tell you whether what you're doing is any good, because they think that maybe something's clever and therefore you're good. But so long as you're fooling an audience and you're captivating their attention, and their attention is not forced, you know what I mean? Like their attention is volunteered moment for moment, like in a street show, then you know that you've got an engaging, good show. And that's sort of the idea. So street shows way harder. My preference nowadays, definitely theaters.
Okay.
And definitely like corporate events and walk around and stuff. Yeah, so no way. I mean, you can imagine yourself like, you got a little table and you're out you've picked up a card trick book and you're out in Washington Square Park. And now people have to give you money to do card tricks. Like that's an unfathomable place to be, And I mean, kind of the same thing with a, guitar player or anything like that, except that is a sort of passive engagement that can be, when you have kind of like a passive entertainment like music, you can stop and really engage with that, or you can just chuck a coin because you appreciate the talent. But it's really hard to just appreciate the talent of a magician or a mentalist if you don't actually engage with it for a few minutes. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah. So, or does that ring true? Maybe it's
the
not
willingness
exactly clear, but
the willingness to participate is very important. If you
Yeah.
have the mental block and you don't want to acknowledge what it is your talent is, I imagine you could be like, this guy's just trying to trick me. But people who actually do play along, yesterday, to come up with questions to ask you, I asked my boyfriend to watch your videos.
Yeah.
And I asked him just to tell me what he would come up with. And he said, and he did what I didn't do. He actually did his homework a lot more thorough, because he was playing along, and he really was like, let's see if this guy...
Did you find that
You got it spot on.
Yeah.
He called me. He's like, this guy got it spot on. So I'm like, wow, let me...
Over the internet.
Yeah.
How do you mind read over the internet?
And
That's
he
weird.
and his friend kind of did it together. That's so funny.
Yeah.
And we were both trying to figure it out. We're like, is this law of averages? How does he do it?
It's some secret stuff. It's some secret, sneaky stuff.
Wow.
Yeah. A couple of little psychological tricks in there. What I tell people is that my real skill set is guiding people to answers that I need them to have, or secretly getting information that I should not otherwise have, but making people forget the process, making the process seem invisible. So the process of me guiding you to that answer, or the process of me getting that information, I'll either do it openly and have people and have it orchestrated such that people forget, or do it kind of secretly and sort of under the radar. And it's hard to delve too much into this without just sort of exposing the secrets. But
So
I'll give you an example.
Okay.
Okay. So here we'll do this. Can you think of an image, right? Maybe
Okay.
like an image that you would draw.
Okay.
Right? And I want you to imagine yourself going up to a big chalkboard. You're in a classroom, like one of those like 3rd or 4th grade classrooms, all those kitschy posters on the wall, Yeah, hang in there, the kitten on the wire. And you walk up to the chalkboard, and you're going to draw that picture. But before you draw that picture, I want you to just put me in that environment as well. Like put me at like one of the desks, or standing in the room, or something. There we go. Okay. Good. So draw the picture on the chalkboard now, just in your brain. Okay, this feels like there's a predominant color that comes through, and I'm not sure if this is the chalkboard itself or if this is the drawing, but it's something green is coming through. Does that ring true so far? Yeah. Okay. Something Oh, but more colors than that probably. If this were to be fully fleshed out, different shades of green, and brown as well, right?
Yeah.
Okay, this is something organic.
Yeah.
Okay, so you've drawn. Feels like triangular almost. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So this feels. I don't know if this is seasonal. If this is actually a Christmas tree or just a pine tree. But can you tell me what it is?
It is a Christmas tree.
It's a Christmas tree. Okay. Good. So there's an example of sort of kind of thing that you can expect if you come to a show like this.
How?
I can't tell you. Or the secret would be if you learned the secret, it would be very disappointing.
There's no way. My mind is blown.
Yeah. Good. I'm glad.
Where can we find you?
Oh yeah. Okay. So.
A plug for your shows?
Yeah. Well, that's what I was kind of saying before. Is I'd love to, miss 3 or 4 more interviews and then come back to to tell you guys if I have something to plug. But right now I work at Lost Spirits Distillery. So I work. As their sort of resident mind reader over there, and at the show I was talking about at the Stratosphere, Banachek's Mind Games. I'm sort of his stage manager / note taker, and I help with writing and consulting and stuff like that. So yeah, we'd love to have you guys out. Now, anyone who's listening, we'd love to have you out as well. But you guys can just send me an email and we'll get you.
We get the VIP.
Yeah, you get the VIP treatment.
We like that here.
And maybe you. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. So the show, the Mind Games show, is every day except for Tuesdays and Fridays at 4 p.m. It's a 4 p.m. slot, and so people can check that out at Banachek.com. The schedule is there. Sometimes we have off days where we're on Tuesday or off on other days or whatever. So Banachek, Banachek. Did I do it right? Banachek. Yeah, Banachek.com. Yep. Oh, cool. And for Lost Spirits, we're open every day except for Tuesdays and Wednesdays. And I think they're opening later nowadays, so it's like 7 to 10 or 7 to midnight, depending on the day. So definitely come through both of those experiences because they're both really cool. And I work at both of them. And say hi.
Let me ask the question now.
Yeah.
Where can we find you?
Me?
Yeah.
Wait.
Where can we see you perform?
Oh, you see me perform? Yeah, Facebook and Instagram. If you just search my name, Kent Axell, I'm sure it's on the screen now, but just in case it's not, KentAxell. That's all of my social tags or handles. That's also my website. And if anyone ever needs to reach out to me, that's how they can find me. And I perform corporate events, private events, stage shows, etc. So,
Great.
And I tour. I'll be touring relatively soon.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
Well, Kent, this has been a pleasure.
This has been so great. I'm so glad that you guys called me and I came in.
Can you show us a trick?
Well, it's almost as if I knew you were going to ask that question. I happen to have a pack of cards here. Can you give those a shuffle?
Okay.
All right, give those a little mix.
I don't know how to shuffle.
It's okay, just mix them up.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, you see, shuffle and mix means exactly the same thing, but if people don't know, if people don't think they can shuffle, then mixing is an appropriate word, and they immediately start shuffling. This is great.
Yeah.
But this is really only a formality so we can pretend that it's fair. It's not going to be fair. So.
Okay.
All right. Here, I'm going to have you take out one of the cards, anyone you like, with a spot card preferably, so one with a number on it.
Okay.
Yep. Okay, good. So it's okay if I see it. It's not that kind of trick. Cool. All right. So I want you to sign your name really big on the 8. All right. You can hold it if you want.
On the 8?
No. That's the whole card. Sign your name on the card. So the reason that I have Linda do this is because I lie for a living, and so I could potentially, unless we're in cahoots, I don't have another one of those in the deck, because I could have another 8 of hearts, right? But I don't have another one with her name on it, just like that. So I'll show this to the camera here, right? But you can see it as well.
It's very valuable.
Yeah, so you can sell this on eBay and get yourself a blank 8 of hearts. Yeah. So here, look, if this goes, let's say, about halfway down, like that. If we give it a little squeeze like this, If it shows up somewhere strange, like exactly right back on top, then we know that it's exactly the same card. That's the point, right?
Huh.
So here, hold your hand out like this. We're gonna balance this time. If that were to happen, right, hypothetically speaking. So we'll balance the card right here. This one goes here. Balance the rest on top. Oh, balance. Good, good. Now, I can kind of still see that card there, so I'm gonna go ahead and square these up a little bit. Good. And in the power of darkness, it can do its work. Look.
No way.
Way.
Oh my
There
goodness.
it is, back on top. Now, it's basically the same trick. Oh, it's not there either. I know what you did.
I felt it on my hand.
I know, it's weird. It's basically the same trick over and over again, but since I'm not finished yet, I'll neither are you guys. So here, watch this.
But
You're
wait,
gonna
there's more.
Hold your thumb out just like that for me and lower it down like that. Or down here, if you don't mind.
Oh.
We're gonna make sure the camera can see this well. So you're gonna push the card into the deck for me so that I can't do any sleight of hand, okay? All right, push, push.
Oh. Whoa. How?
Oh, here. And that's essentially what I do. So that's a little bit of sleight of hand work for you there.
Wow.
All right, cool. So that's the trick.
Thank you.
Thank
Ken.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you. It's
I
been
am-
a lot of fun. Oh, so kind, so kind. There's actually everyone wants a second chance at that last one. Yeah, with the teeth there. Hold your thumb out again.
Okay.
Go for this. Look at this. So push. All right, watch. And then.
Oh my goodness.
Put your thumb away, you weirdo. All right? I'm just kidding. That'd be so gross. That'd be disgusting, right? Especially now. No, but it does go. It does go. I don't know if you saw where it went, but look, it goes the same place all my cards go. Every single time I do this trick, one of the cards vanishes, and it goes exactly where all of my other cards go. I'll show you exactly where that... Oh, it's a right side kind of day, I guess. Here, look. In here, this is where I keep my cards. And in here, I keep some of them, but the really important ones I keep here, underneath the buttoned flap inside the ID case, right? There's my ID, with the psychopath stare because they don't let you retake the darn photo. And here, underneath that, is a playing card that I keep folded up into quarters for just such an occasion. And ultimately, Linda, this is the only reason that I have you sign that.
Oh my goodness.
Show the camera. That's a miracle. A miracle, ladies and gentlemen.
Burn him at the stake.
Burn him at the stake.
Well, thank you so much, Kent. Tell us your website one more time.
So my website's kentaxell.com, KENTAXELL.com.
And that is also your handle on social media?
Yeah, my handle on social media and everything is Kent Axell.
Okay.
Yeah, it's all pristine. It's all the same thing across all platforms. It feels great.
Consistency. We like to see
Consistency,
it.
yeah. Consistency.
It was a pleasure.
It was a lot of fun.
Thanks
for
again.
having me on.
Did you have fun today? I know I did. I'm Linda Ross, and we'll see you next time.